Idlib province, in the northwest corner of Syria, is home to one of the biggest displacement crises in the world. In March, a small window between a ceasefire and the start of the coronavirus pandemic gave us a rare chance to see what was happening on the ground. We found a landscape battered by airstrikes and people with nowhere left to hide, indiscriminately bombed in tents, schools, and on the road. Among them are Rauda al-Bakur and her family, who fled their home to this poultry farm.
بلش الطيران مثل ما بتعرف البراميل هجر العالم نزحنا لهون بركنا بهاي الغرفة.
But moving here didn't spare them from the bombs.
الساعة 2 بالليل كنا نايمين أنا وولادي وزوجي. نحن بنسمع أصوات الطيران والقصف بس مفكرين إنه أمان هون بعيد يعني.
Even as families began to flee in March 2019, at the start of a new offensive to retake Idlib, Syrian and Russian warplanes bombed them scores of times, killing around 200 people. Two of the worst strikes were in Ma'arat Misrin, a town near the front line of this conflict, now in its 10th year. Like the rest of Idlib, it's a mix of rebels and jihadists, overworked doctors, and people trying to survive. On February 25th, the neighborhood surrounding the town's hospital came under attack, including a school across the street. It was hosting dozens of displaced families when an explosion sprayed shrapnel across the courtyard. Fadila Zarifa is a nurse who treated the wounded.
المرضى المصابة بنزيف مو طبيعي وأكثرهم كانوا أطفال ونساء لأن كانت المدرسة مليانة يعني نازحين للأسف أطفال بعمر الوردة كانوا متشقفين شقف حق الطفولة انحرموا منه حق كل شيء حقوق طفل انحرمت منه.
9 days later, on March 5th, there would be another attack in Ma'arat Misrin. This one on the poultry farm where Rauda al-Bakur's family had taken up home.
هاي غرفي كنت حاطة هون صوبة تدمرت هون كانوا أولادي نايمين يعني الله لطف فيهم. هون لك المطبخ كله طبعا لك اتدمر الموني كل شيء اتدمر.
It was just after 2 a.m. when a warplane made its first strike on the isolated farm around a mile outside town. Over the radio, flight observers warned rescuers that a Russian warplane was circling overhead.
رجع دوران روسي نفس المكان طلعنا والله ركبنا سيارتنا هيك بعدنا شوي رجع عاود الطيران هون بهالضربة روح كل المكان مثل ما انك شايف.
Rauda's wasn't the only family that had found shelter on the farm. One of their neighbors, Salim Katesh, was trapped under rubble by the first strike.
ونص فوق هاي ولادي عم يبكوا حدي سمعان صوته واخوي عم يصيح اجى ضربني تاني كله سكت.
Rescuers pulled Salim's brother, Mohammed, out from the rubble. Salim and his brother were badly wounded. Salim's mother, father, and 2 daughters didn't make it. 16 people were killed, and around 35 wounded. The Times has documented 33 airstrikes on displaced people in northwest Syria since March 2019, when the offensive began. But the actual number of attacks is probably much higher. Around 1,800 civilians in the northwest have been killed in the past year in shelling and airstrikes. Only Syrian and Russian jets are bombing these parts of Idlib. It's an attempt to retake the last pocket of opposition to President Bashar al-Assad. Indiscriminate and reckless bombing like this may be a war crime. But just hours after the strike on the poultry farm on March 5th, it was Russia and Turkey, which keeps hundreds of troops in Idlib, signing a ceasefire in Moscow. That ceasefire has held, but it's not a solution for millions of displaced families. Formal and informal camps here have swelled, and families are living in packed tents without running water, healthcare, or reliable food. They're an indefinitely displaced population, unable to flee any farther. And if the ceasefire breaks, under siege again. Rauda's family still lives where they were bombed.
بده مأوى الشعب يعيش بسلام، لا يسمع صوت طيارة، لا يسمع صوت قذيفي، لا يسمع. هذا أملنا.